I'm Mixer Giant and I'm going to be saying how they can do the ultimate horror crossover in other forms of media. You'd have the Ghostbusters going to a town to bust some ghosts, then Scooby-Doo and the gang coming there to solve some mysteries. Then Scooby and the gang would find some fake ghosts and the real Ghostbusters would find some real ghosts. So Scooby and the gang find out that ghosts are real, and you having both kinds of monsters from both shows. Then the ghosts they would be trying to bust would be Beetlejuice and Casper the Friendly Ghost. But then finding out that Beetlejuice and Casper the Friendly Ghost aren't bad ghosts, so they decide not to bust them. And then they would bust the actual bad ghosts. Then it turns out someone would do this so he can get them on his show. And that would be Crypty from Tales from the Crypt Keeper. And you should also have the Vault Keeper and the Old Witch in there. And then trying to do some terrible game show things for them for ratings, which is why they would need to fight against him. And you need to make it him being involved with this, and it being a part of Crypty's plan to be more mysterious and up in the air, so it would also be a crossover with the Twilight Zone. And you should also make it that he has the monsters and the Addams family in there. This way you get to have a crossover with all the most iconic horror icons. This is a good crossover because of how iconic these guys are to horror, and because they all go so well with each other. Is the Ghostbusters another crossover you can do if you don't want it to be too many people crossing over with each other? Casper the Friendly Ghost. So you can show that the Ghostbusters only bust the bad ghosts, and they don't bust the good ghosts. So it'd be perfect if the Ghostbusters met Casper the Friendly Ghost and Beetlejuice. So Beetlejuice is a good ghost like Casper, and him having a similar relationship with Lilia Dietz. And Scooby-Doo, because they already went after real monsters before, so this wouldn't come out of nowhere. And because they're most well known for going after fake monsters, it would be nice for them to go after some real monsters for once. You would also need Jack Skellington in there, and they would be stuck on an island with real monsters. So you having the Spirit of Halloween in there, and you having another horror icon in there, and some Goosebumps monsters. And you can just say you invite those guys to do some terrible things to them. And you should also do a DC Elseworlds animated movie universe. That's a combination of Tales from the Crypt Keeper and the Twilight Zone with Kane.
Good evening. My name is Kane, storyteller and caretaker of the House of Mystery. Oh, but of course you know the House of Mystery. It's that old dark ruin at the end of the street that you'd swear wasn't there the last time you looked. See what I mean?
You should also do in the crossover that Crypty, the Vault Keeper, and the Old Witch managed to put aside their rivalry and managed to do this show together. And that's how they managed to get these guys on their show. With each one taking a turn telling a scary story and showing it on their show. Crypty would say horror stories, the Vault Keeper it would say sci-fi horror stories, and the Old Witch would say romance horror stories. And Kane was the guy who did the first murder by killing his brother Abel. And for how you can do a Simpsons horror crossover in the Treehouse of Horror episodes, for the first segment it would be a combination of the 3 segments from the worst Treehouse of Horror episodes so that they can do it good this time. For the second segment, they would use spoofing Goosebumps to spoof other horror movies they didn't do yet in The Simpsons. For the third segment, they would spoof every horror movie by having a serial killer from every horror movie in the segment. Then they would spoof Scooby-Doo and the Monsterverse, and do a spoof on all 3 Ghostbusters movies in the 3 segments in the next Treehouse of Horror special. Then for how you can do horror in the superheroes universes, you would need to make it that the Fear Lords and Hell Lords unleash a zombie virus on Earth, and that Dracula took advantage of it to spread the vampire virus. Deadpool would de-heal himself to get rid of the rest of the zombie virus, while the other leftover Marvel superheroes blow up Galactus to get rid of the other zombies. Then Ghost Rider would fight against Jack-o'-lantern and a bunch of zombies. Then the Ghost Rider would get rid of a bunch of the zombies and kill Jack-o'-lantern. Then you would see the Punisher killing some zombies and supervillains. Then you would do some stories from Marvel's Avengers Halloween special. And Wanda and Vision fighting against the spirit of Halloween and some monsters and supervillains at their house. Then Franklin Richards would find out that the person who sent the zombie virus is going to Earth. And the Midnight Suns would be fighting against them with the other heroes. Then Wolverine would fight against Dr. Watt and Brain Monsters. Then Wolverine would become Lord of the Vampires, and a Doctor Strange possessed Punisher and Blade would kill him.
Don't be scared, kiddies. After all, it was only a story. Still, if on some Halloween you pass by a spooky old house that wasn't there a moment before, please come in and say hello. We'd love to have you.